Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. We are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, equal housing lender, a top 10 lender in the United States of America, NMLS number 2289. We are an equal housing lender. Today with me on our podcast, we have none other than Lisa Lawson. Hi, Lisa.
Morning, everybody.
And Mr. John Kolb, top 1% of all originators in the United States. It's got me all worked up this morning. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Yeah, there's a lot to be worked up about around here nowadays, Harry.
Yeah, I don't know why. And getting into it, Harvey's supposed to join us, Harvey Freed. And also, Becky Alley's on the road rounding up people for our live event that we're having on September 15th at 5th Avenue in Royal Oak, starting at 5:30. We're going to bring you the Hardcore Mortgage and Real Estate Business Show live from our event starting at 6:30 to 7:30. And that is brought to you by none other than our producer director, Roberto Beauchene, who guarantees me, everybody, that we will have zero technical difficulties. Okay, so with that, why am I worked up today? I'm worked up, and I'm going to start this off by saying houses have always sold, houses will continue to sell, and people will continue to get mortgages on the houses they buy, regardless of how many homes are on the market for sale, inventory-wise, regardless of the price, regardless of the rates. Throughout history, it's shown that people have always purchased houses. So with that, I will start with you, Lisa Lawson, because ladies first always. We're a very polite company. Home prices increase. We're seeing a slowdown. Pricing corrections to come, Lisa. Predict. Are you seeing this? Is it happening? By how much? When? And how long is it going to continue?
Yeah, I actually just had breakfast with an agent this morning before he came in, and we were talking about this exact thing, that he really feels, and so do I, that we're going through a correction. He said he believes strongly in the next handful of months that we're going to be more balanced. Instead of being a seller's market, we're going to actually be pretty 50-50, in the next handful of months here. I might take a little bit longer than that, but we are definitely seeing a slowdown. People are not getting the insane guarantees as they previously were. We're seeing a lot more price reductions. So even though there's a ton of inventory that just came on the market, houses are sitting for a little bit longer, and you're seeing this first price reduction, second price reduction. You're seeing, homes literally on the market for a couple weekends, people having open houses, having an open house the following weekend. 6 months ago, that wouldn't have been the case. The house would have came on the market, they would have multiple offers in a day or two and have been done. So I definitely think we're becoming a little bit more balanced for sure.
So I like that, Lisa. I'm a wordsmith, as you know, and I like words and phrases. So the words and phrases that we're hearing now is we're hearing the word balanced. John Kolb, we're hearing stabilize or stabilization. We're hearing correction. We're hearing shift, John Kolb. We're hearing market is changing. John, home price increases are slowing down, price corrections to come. What are your thoughts on that? By how much, when?
It's about damn time. That's my thoughts on it. It's, these sellers were getting these crazy over asking prices. First time, second time home buyers were out of the market. People without a ton of liquid cash were out of the market. So it's about damn time this country came back to the realization that, we gotta negotiate a little bit. It's a buy-sell negotiation between buyers and sellers. Now, as Lisa said, the correction is getting rid of the crazy over asking, but we're still top end of what prices are and have been in the past. It's just that they're not going for crazy over list price guarantees. So, I'm good with it. It brings more buyers into the market to have them make it a little bit more competitive. It gets the sellers off their high horse, thinking that they can get anything they want on the sale of their home, and brings it back to a little bit of normalcy that you and I have both been seeing since for the last 25 years.
Yeah. Now the timing on this, what's the time frame, Lisa Lawson? What are you hearing from your realtors? How long are houses staying on the market for? I mean, yes, it was crazy. It would list it would go to a bidding war and it'd be off the market in 2-3 days. What are you seeing the time on the market now? Average time on the market?
I mean, it's definitely increasing. I think, hopefully educated agents aren't making any promises, right? We know that the time on market is definitely lengthening, but nobody's saying, oh, in 30 days, it's going to be a balanced market. I think people are still being cautious, which they should be. Most of the agents I've talked to believe this is going to happen over the next few months. They kind of feel like going into the new year will be a balanced market. A couple agents think that that's still too soon, but we've seen quite a bit of change. Macomb County, which is where I'm located, has a ton of new listings coming on, and not so many under contract right away. So I think that it's going to get, at least for Macomb, I can't speak for Oakland, going to be balanced. Probably, I would hopefully by the end of the year, beginning into the new year.
Excellent. I think that, John, I had a meeting last week. I had a realtor group, gave a talk in front of a bunch of realtors. And, I think we have to get back to old school. Nobody really can predict a market. You can't predict an interest rate market. We know they're going up. Interest rates right now, I'll touch upon it, are approaching 7%. That's what's going on. Lisa's going to give us an update on MSHDA, which is still a bargain. We'll talk about that, Michigan State Housing Development Authority loan transactions. But, John, nobody can predict what the market's going to do, whether it's rising inventories, whether it's the lowering of sales prices. The market bears that out, right? I mean, it's Econ 101. We talk about it all the time. You made direct mention of the fact this is a negotiation. Regardless of the market, you still have to negotiate. If the market is in a seller's favor, less negotiating on the buyer's end. If it's in the buyer's favor, less negotiating on the seller's end. So it's all a negotiation. But John, the question that I have for you going into, we're seeing it. We're in the third quarter now, rapidly approaching fourth quarter. What do we foresee for the fourth quarter going into the colder months here in the state of Michigan?
I mean, my crystal ball has been broken for 25 years, but I mean, if I had to make a guess, we're going to have a strong fall with a lot of transactions. Will lead us into the right before the holiday season. And when I'm talking holiday season, I think maybe around Christmas time. I think we'll power through Thanksgiving, and then we'll have a couple month lag where people will kind of get back to the normalcy and to taking time off over the cold months. But I think that's a great time for us to push new buyers and people who can move readily, pretty easily. To get out there and start looking during those months, because they're going to have the pick of the lot.
Yeah, Lisa, that's kind of the norm here in the state of Michigan, right? We kind of have we always have beautiful and nice falls here. Home sales usually tend to go through the fall, and then around the holiday time, you always see it, slide a little bit, stays a little quiet, and then it gets cold, and then all of a sudden it picks back up March 1st, right? So it kind of seems, Lisa, with all the words that we want to use, a dramatic shift, normalcy, stabilization. I mean, who knows what the term is going to be 90 days from now, right?
Right.
But it feels like it's a normal market. It really does. And John said it. I think buyers have the power now. I really do. I think buyers have the power, Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the past couple contracts I got, both of them had seller concessions negotiated from the get-go, not after failed inspection. They literally had concessions from the beginning. So, that's a huge sign that things are starting to shift in favor of the buyer. It's been a seller's market for a very long time, but there's a few other signs as well. Buyers aren't waiving as many inspections or waiving appraisal guarantees and things like that. They're saying, hey, wait a minute, something's wrong with the house. I want it fixed. They're asking for repairs. And I've seen all that happen more and more often in the past month than we had previously seen.
Yeah, this is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Podcast. Today is September 7th, 2022. Joining us now at 11:43 is Mr. Harvey Freed, host of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show, heard every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on 97.1 FM. We are taking the show on the road, Harvey Freed. On Thursday, September 15th, we'll be broadcasting from 6:30 to 7:30 in front of a live studio audience. It will not be tape delayed. It will be in front of a live studio audience starting at 6:30, going from 6:30 to about 7:30. Pretty pumped up for that event, Harvey?
I'm pretty pumped up for it, Harry. I like all the experts that are coming on again, getting out there, putting some material out there that people can learn and find out how today's market is ever changing. It changes every day. You know, a lot of people predicting where interest rates are going and where the market's going. One thing for sure is there's still a little bit of slowdown in that really nice house out there. The lack of inventory is still prevalent out there in today's marketplace. So although homes are not seeing the multiple bids, there's still a little bit of that negotiation. And if you want that great house, you got to be prepared, get that strong approval letter. And that's still the key to getting that offer accepted.
So yeah, at the top of the show, one adage I always live by: houses will always sell and people will always get mortgages. So I feel very good about that. Lisa Lawson, let's get into something here. Rates are starting to get, they're starting, I'm going to use a word because I am a wordsmith. Rates are starting to get ugly. And what I mean by ugly, I don't mean the actual number. I mean how fast things are changing. You're seeing a rapid change now. So the market is changing. The waters are choppy. It's not smooth sailing out there only because we have to stay on top of the market. And we do. Big rise yesterday. Economic factors, job reports, recession fears. But you've got some good news. The Michigan State Housing Development Authority, talk about that a little bit, the loan limits, the opportunities that people have. Listen, everybody out there, you could talk about rising interest rates all you want. Lisa Lawson has some great news.
So for those who qualify, and there are income limits to this program, and the maximum sales price is $224,500 with MSHDA. But for those who qualify, if you do not need down payment assistance, MSHDA has a program, the rate is 5.625% effective tomorrow. So that's 5 5/8. If you do need down payment assistance, it's 6 1/8. So those rates are below what the rest of the market is for conventional and FHA loans. So you should definitely give us a shout. I can't even tell you how many MSHDA loans I've closed. I love doing them. They're one of my favorites. But you can still get an extremely competitive rate, even if you don't need assistance. Even if you've got 20% down, we can still get you below market rate if you qualify for one of those programs. So give us a shout. Let us know.
Yeah, there are programs out there, everybody. You know, it's not a one size fit all situation here. Capital Mortgage Funding has never tried to put people in a box. We teach you how to go about the pre-approval process, what we need for pre-approvals. John Kolb is a master at it, one of the top in the country at it. When John Kolb sits down with his clients, John, you're looking for them to succeed in their mortgage because it is a financial plan, and you only put them in a program that they're going to be successful in, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's not just one product du jour that is for every single person that you talk to. You got to sit down, listen to their needs and wants, and kind of give a couple different options for the best scenario to move forward. You know, that's the number one thing. You got to listen more than you talk. And for a lot of lenders out there, that's hard to do because they just want to hear themselves talk and keep just going and going and going. We try to make sure that we listen, understand families' needs, their financial needs, and put them, if we have the ability to put them in touch with one of our preferred real estate partners, we'll do that as well, because we know that who might work well together. The thing is, it's all about making sure they're successful and not looking at the paycheck that you're going to get. Don't worry about that. That will come as long as you're doing a good job with everybody.
Yeah, John, that's it. And Harvey, one of the topics that I get worked up about, all the things in the market that you hear, all the email, all the text, all the TV and radio advertising with these companies are the same one or two out there that no matter what the market is, they're hawking some kind of marketing plan, tool, program. Give me a call me. We got the super fun Happy Meal mortgage for you. Harvey, I got to tell you, the hair on the back of my neck stands up when I hear it because it's just all crazy talk. Okay, nobody can guarantee that you can refinance 2 or 3 years from now and the rates will be lower, Harvey Freed. You don't know what rates are going to be. 6 months ago, we didn't know the rates were going to be at 7. We knew they were going to be higher because they weren't going to stay at 3. But we didn't know they would be 4 points higher than they were. So nobody, Harvey Freed, out there can guarantee what rates are going to be 2 years from now. They can't guarantee what rates are going to be 90 days. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm jacked up, Harvey. Go ahead.
No, I like that. I like those comments. Yeah, definitely, Harry. One of the famous soccer players, Ronaldo, they put a Coca-Cola in front of him, and he was appalled by it. It's horrible. He doesn't want kids drinking. Millions of kids look up to this guy, and it's marketing. He took the Coke and he slid it off the table, and he put a bottle of water up there. Look, Harry, people are getting fooled. And again, I don't want to throw Coke under the table. I love ice cold Coca-Cola, but it's not good for you. It's probably not good for your teeth. It's not good for your health. It's a bad message. And sometimes marketing has a bad message. We want the people to call us also, but we don't use a bad message to get there. And I think that's where you're trying to say in a different matter is, marketing and being sold something. A lot of people were sold a bill of goods, Harry. Like you said, we used to call it the super happy, fun, adjustable rate mortgage program. And so many families locked into those loans. And actually, the loan was a good loan for some clients that kept that loan. But we found out years later that a lot of those adjustable rate mortgages were only putting people in a bad position and they lost their homes. So we have a track record of trying to send out a better message. And our message is, listen to the experts, make your decisions on real factual stuff, and feel confident when you sign on the dotted line. And again, we always urge you to deal with a local bank like Capital Mortgage. We've been around. We have a track record. We want you to call us.
Harvey,
He hits a button right there. Harvey, ARMS didn't put people into.
Well, that's a wonderful message. I'm going to interrupt John. That's a wonderful message to send around to our roundtable for our last talk. I want to give it to Lisa right now because Lisa's bringing somebody on the show, 97.1 FM Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show this Saturday. Lisa, who are you bringing on?
Mr. Jack Dodd from Sign and Monahan out of Royal Oak.
Jack Dodd from Sign and Monahan on the show, 97.1 FM this Saturday with Lisa Lawson, Harvey Freed, myself, and Jack Dodd will be there from Sign and Monahan. Lisa, I'm going to go to you. I want to hear your last words for the day on the podcast. We're going to wrap it up. But I guess my message is now more than ever, you need an expert because we have never seen a market change like this in the last 6 months. Been doing this. You've been doing this for a long time. John's been doing it for 25 years. Harvey, 30. I'm close to 35. Never have I seen a market change. And by the way, Lisa Lawson, it's going to change 90 days from now. Guaranteed.
It's going to change 30 days from now. It's going to change next week. We literally had a change over the weekend. No one can predict the rates. The reality is buying a home should not be rate dependent. If you need a house and you don't want to rent and pay somebody else's mortgage, and invest in yourself and your own, generational wealth, you should buy a home. And whether the rate is at, 3% or 13%, it still makes sense. So especially if you don't have a home now and you're renting, you're just literally throwing money away. So there are many loan programs. We talked about Mishta. ARMS are not a bad product. They got to, especially the ARMS that are now, we're not really doing interest only ARMS like we used to. There's no negative AMs anymore. All those products that got people in trouble in the past are long gone. There's so many other products to get you into the right home right now. Just give us a call so we can walk you through it. Make sure you get exactly what you need and what you want.
I love it. Now, Mr. John Kolb, go on your rant, Mr. John Kolb. I love talking to you. I love working with you, and I love being with you every day. Let's hear what you got.
I was just going to say that ARMS aren't the problem. ARMS are a way of getting people into a home for a little bit cheaper until they can get themselves accustomed to what it is. The reasons that the foreclosures happened way back when were not blamed on ARMS. It may be blamed on some of the interest-only products, some of the self-employed products, the no-doc loans, and then the back end of how the secondary sold it off. ARMS are a good product to get yourself into, help you ease yourself into the mortgage. And if the time is right to refinance at any point, there's no prepayment penalties on those loans to do so. So, I'm researching ARMS right now. It's one of those new products that you can just give as an option. You know what? Let's keep rolling. Let's keep giving people options and good pricing that they can get themselves into.
Everybody out there, this is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, Equal Housing Lender. About to wrap it up for a Wednesday, September 7th. We have Mr. Harvey Freed, host of the 97.1 FM Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. Harvey, what say you on your last words of the day?
My last words are, Harry, we're getting into the fourth quarter here. And again, you got football on your mind. There's a lot of high school kids going back to school, high school sports, and some really fun stuff. If you're thinking about upgrading your house, do it for all the right reasons. Put your plan together and put your team together. Calling strangers, clicking on Zillow, having all these strangers call you, is you're going to be setting yourself up for problems down the road. And I don't want that to happen. We got so many great families out there in Southeast Michigan. Make the right decisions, deal with experienced lenders, and do the right thing for your family.
Yeah, I love that advice, Harvey. Just giving solid advice, but we're going to bring it strong. Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show going on the road. When are we going on the road? We're going on the road September 15th. It's a Thursday night, downtown Royal Oak, 5th Avenue. From 5:30 to 8:30, we'll be meeting and greeting, but the show starts at 6:30. A lot of great guests on there. We're bringing on guests that have given you positive advice over the last 23 years that we've been on the air. So you're going to be able to meet and greet and see them live and hear them and just take the advice that we're giving. We do not give bad advice. I can honestly tell you that. Never put anybody in a bad mortgage program. Never did super fun Happy Meal arms. And I can be proud of all of the people that A, we have on this podcast, and B, that we have working behind the scenes, like Roberto Beauchesne, our producer and director. This is Harry Glantz for the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast, Wednesday, September 7th. We'll see you soon.